Excuse me, Mr. Arnell? I really don't want to do this. Okay.
If they keep them now and then never allow them back here, I'm gonna kill you. Can we interview for a school project? Can we interview for a school project? No, I'm working. I'm sorry. Working? Okay. Let's see you on your phone. Sidetrack much?
First Amendment is basically stating four things. The first is we have like the freedom of religion, which is like um the government can't put a certain rule that favors one religion. And then we have freedom of speech. We can say what we think and we can have our own opinion on things. And then we have press to we can put whatever we want. It just has like we can publish things that we think are true. And we can peacefully assemble, like gathering schools or like at home or just assemble peacefully. And we also have the right to petition the government to say to them like it's basically like have bills like you can ask the government for like the things that you believe in. You know the First Amendment?
I know the gist of it, like
Okay.
what it's about.
Okay, can you summarize it?
So it's about freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of the press, things like that.
Okay. Yes. So what do you like think about that? Like,
Just in general, I think it's one of the most important things about our country. I think it's one of the things that can make us great when we come together and let everybody do that. I also think there are some things that are like dangerous to let people do, like hate speech or things that are going to incite violence. And so it's kind of a fine line of figuring out like between free speech and things that actually can cause harm to another person, even through words.
thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Basically, this amendment allows us to bear arms, which means to keep arms, like guns and all that. We are allowed to carry them and also like maintain them in our house. Do you know the Second Amendment?
Yes, I know the Second Amendment.
Can you summarize it for me?
That's the right to bear arms, right? Okay.
Okay, so what does that mean to you?
It means that you have the right you can own firearms. The state can't limit that. That's pretty much it. The way that's worded, it was sort of intended to be so that you could bear arms and not necessarily have raise a militia. So,
Is that important to you?
yeah, kind of.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Prescribed by law. So, this amendment states that a soldier can't stay in your house if you don't allow it to. So, it's not law. There is no law that requires the soldier stay in your house without you being like okay with it. So, they have to have your permission if they want to stay in your house. Even in law, and even if we're in war.
Have the option of not allowing them in your house.
Yes. So what does that mean to you guys?
Well, if a soldier came to my door and said, I want to come in your house, I'd say, what for? And it would have to be a darn good reason. And if I didn't want him to, I wouldn't let him.
So how is this important to you guys? So
Well, it's just I have rights.
okay, thank you. Like you have to have a search warrant if a cop or like someone wants to come into your house and like look for something. They can't just burst into your house and start digging for things. And the warrant has to be specific where they're looking and what they're looking for. and it has to be accepted by a judge.
Right?
Yes, it's a quiz. So, do you know the Fourth Amendment?
Yeah, the Fourth Amendment. Isn't that illegal search and seizure? Without a warrant?
Yes, I think. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So,
In a nutshell. Yeah.
okay, so how is that important to you?
That way, it's important to me. That way, no one can just come over to your house, break down your door, and take you off to jail for no reason.
True. Yeah, they have to have a good reason.
Yeah, there has to be a
So-
warrant. Right.
So, what do you think it would be like if that wasn't the case, if we didn't have this amendment?
It would be why we fought World War II.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. We'd be fascist, and we'd
Okay.
all be dead.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So this amendment is stating that you can't be charged for the same offense twice, and you don't have to be a witness against yourself, and take property away from you for public use. Like, they have to compensate you for what it's worth. So they can't give you less for, like, say your land. If they want to build a road there, they have to, like, compensate. They have to give you land or give you money for to give you what it's worth.
So it's about the Bill of Rights. Do you know the Third Amendment and the Fifth Amendment?
I do not know.
Okay, so can you summarize? I cannot talk. Sorry. Can you summarize that in like your own words?
Trial, and if you feel that you're misrepresented, you can represent yourself. Also, you don't have to say anything if you think it could prove you guilty.
Okay. How do you think that's important to like us?
I think it's a right to a fair trial with anything, basically. So if you think that you're being misrepresented by your own like lawyer or something, you have the right to be like, no, I don't want to be with that guy. Just be on your own.
Okay. Yes. Thank
Is
you.
that the gist of it?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
The Sixth Amendment is how you don't have to be a witness to yourself, so you don't have to confess or say that you're guilty. You don't have to say anything at all. You have the right to know why you're being arrested. They can't just arrest you for no reason. You have the right to a speedy and public trial so that you're not just sitting in jail until they decide to do your trial. Also, you can call a witness to testify for you if you think that it'll prove you innocent.
So, like, what does that mean to you?
That, I don't know.
You don't know?
No, that we can't just be pulled off the street for anything.
Yeah. Okay. What does that mean to you? Like, I don't know how to put it.
That I'm going to jail because I did something, or did I just get pulled off the street?
You just got pulled off the street and you need a witness, but the person won't go.
Can't you subpoena them?
Yeah. You can make them go. That's what the Fifth Amendment's for.
The 5th or 6th?
Oh, the 6th, sorry. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
The Seventh Amendment gives you the right to have a trial for suing somebody over $20. Obviously, it's no longer like just $20, but you have the right to a trial.
So what does that mean to you?
I guess that just means like fair treatment. If someone like does an injustice that's not like technically like physical, but they take something else from you, which could be like monetary, then like you have the right to sue them. Or if they do something like health related, then you have the right to some sort of compensation.
To get justice, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
yeah, I guess that was it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. The Eighth Amendment is about how you have the right to a bail, to pay money to get out of jail. And if you show up to court on your court day, the money is returned to either the person you know who paid it, you, or a bail bonds company. Can you summarize that in your own words?
You shouldn't be allowed to like torture prisoners.
No.
I don't know.
It's about how you can pay to get out of jail until your court date.
Okay.
So, what would that mean to you if you like were in jail?
Like, does that mean like bail?
Yeah,
You can get
bail.
bailed out?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know.
You don't know. What about you?
I don't know.
So basically, like they can give you like a certain amount of money for your crime that you did, and then you can pay it to get out of jail until your court date. And then let's say nobody wants to give you money, then a company would do it.
Oh.
And then you have to show up to court, and then you can get your money back. So.
That's interesting.
Yeah. The Ninth Amendment is about how not all of our rights can be stated on paper. We have a lot more than what is written there, but these are just the written rights that we have. We have more than this, though. So, what does that mean to you?
I mean, pretty self-explanatory. I mean, like, you still have the freedom of speech, no matter if somebody doesn't agree.
Which is in the First Amendment.
Exactly. Another amendment, you have the right to bear arms, I guess.
Ooh.
Don't agree, but whatever. But, I mean, that's, like, another...
The 10th Amendment is about how states can make their own laws, and as long as it doesn't conflict with federal laws, or I guess like laws made by the government of the United States. So states can make some things legal, others can make things not legal. Some states can pay a bigger tax for this or whatever. States can make their own laws. Yeah. What does that mean to you? Like, what do you think of that?
Okay, so in terms of the state laws that can't contradict federal laws, I think that there's a lot of things going in the legislature right now that have to do with states' rights in regards to the federal lands in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at how much of the lands in Utah are controlled by the federal government and how much is controlled by the state government, it's pretty significant. But also, you know, the federal lands are protected. So, you know, Arches, Moab, Bryce Canyon, Zions, you know, they're all federal lands.
Yeah.
And so they're protected. So, but because they're in Utah, how much of a right does Utah have to govern those lands?
Sydney, this is so sad. Oh, sad, Sydney. Doing a school project, and now she's riding a little car. I'm not ashamed of it. You should be. When this video goes into a star now, I will. Am I supposed to run them over or what? Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah, probably. Run them over.